Alright, so let's talk some WandaVision episode 6. So spoilers ahead, so please click away now if you have not seen the episode. So the theme song consistently mentions illusions and to keep it going, referencing the entire ploy of Wanda. It is also similar to the style of Malcolm in the Middle, and Pietro's introduction within the intro says Pietro Maximoff is playing himself, possibly a reference to him being different than the Aaron Taylor Johnson version of the character. Billy is wearing his comic book costume. The casting call for their uncle that got leaked last year for their uncle on the couch turns out to be the Evan Peters version of Quicksilver. Wanda's comic book costume is that of a Sokovian fortune teller. Vision makes a snarky comment about there being no other clothes in his closet. Also, this scene of Wanda and Vision mirrors this comic cover, which is a nice callback. Quicksilver gets his comic book costume, and Speed also gets a mini version of that costume. Seeing Quicksilver's comic book costume just made me realize how stupid his hair looks. Quicksilver mentions, I feel the need for speed. Wanda is clearly testing Pietro throughout the entire episode because she is also confused at how he looks. Pietro keeps using the words devil, hell, etc., and even calls the twins devil spawn. This is a reference to the twins being created from the soul shards of Mephisto in the comics. Pietro tells the twins Kick-Ass, a reference to how both Evan Peters and Aaron Taylor Johnson were in Kick-Ass, and they both played Quicksilver later on. Young Wanda and Pietro here look exactly like a young Natasha Romanoff and Nick Fury. Vision notices the family that's stuck in the loop. Clearly, he snuck out against Wanda and she just realized this. Yo Magic, the snack for survivors from the advertisement, is possibly a reference to Wanda and Pietro after they were orphaned, and since the kid in the ad is unable to open the snack and later dies, this is probably a reference to how Wanda and Pietro struggled and had nothing to eat. The movie theater in the background is showing The Parent Trap, which released in 1998, and The Incredibles from 2004. One a movie about twins, and one a movie about a family with superpowers. Even Quicksilver acknowledges that he got shot in the street like a chump. Jimmy notices that the people on the edge of town are barely moving. This has got to be a result of Wanda's influence being not as powerful out there, so they're just stuck in a limbo. This is also the reason why we've only seen a handful of people from the town throughout the entire series, and not the 3,000 odd people said to be in the town. Agnes is dressed up as a witch, possibly to reference her being Agatha Harkness, or to poke fun at people thinking that she's Agatha Harkness. She mentions that she took a wrong turn and got lost. Vision unzaps her, and when Agnes asks if she is dead and Vision says no, she says that he is dead. She also initially thought he was an Avenger there to help them, but he was equally as confused as to what an Avenger was. Wanda tells her children not to go past Ellis Avenue, which is where Vision and Agnes's interactions take place. We finally see the twins' powers start to manifest. Also, throughout the entire episode, Hayward is a mega douche, and he kicks out the three people who arguably did everything in relation to investigating the Hex. The files that Monica checks shows the name Ray Johnson. In the comics, this was an alias for John Wraith, or Kestrel, who was related to the X-Men team. Darcy tells Jimmy and Monica that the energy in the Hex has rewritten Monica on a molecular level twice, which is a direct reference to when Wanda kicked Monica out, and her X-ray scans came back empty because of electromagnetic spectrum powers. This is a huge setup for future stories for Spectrum or Photon. Throughout the entire episode, Quicksilver breaks the fourth wall and asks Wanda where she was hiding all the kids, similar to how Vision asked her that in the previous episode, and he theorizes that it was maybe not to give any trauma to them besides the weekly episode cameo. Throughout this entire episode, Quicksilver openly acknowledges what is going on. For example, he remarks that his face is not the same as it should, a reference to him being quote-unquote recast in this reality, or that he was killed by Ultron, or that his face looks different because he remarks that if Wanda was in Shangri-La, she wouldn't want to be reminded of the past. Additionally, he mentions that he is just trying to play his part just how Wanda wants it. He seems too sus to be Quicksilver from the Fox universe, or Quicksilver with a different face from this universe, and more a ploy by an outside villain to affect Wanda in some way, perhaps to gain intel or something, because throughout the entire episode, he consistently pesters Wanda as to how she created this reality. In James Hilton's book from the 1930s, he claimed that the city of Shangri-La was located in the Kunlun Mountains. You know what else is in Kunlun Mountains? Kunlun. Iron Fist, anyone? Coincidence? I think not. Wanda gets sad, and when she's telling Quicksilver how she feels, she turns around and sees him similar to the dead Vision, but this time he has bullet holes and glazed over eyes. We also see Darcy discover Hayward's secret project called Cataract. Could this be connected to Quicksilver in some way? Also, Cataract is eyes only for Hayward, and it's weird because every time Wanda freaks out, Vision and Quicksilver's eyes turn milky, similar to how cataracts look. The classified sword files that Darcy hacks shows the names James Gadd, James Alexander, and James X. Seckler. Gad and Alexander are on the production crew for WandaVision, but I have no clue about what Seckler might be referencing. He's probably on the crew as well. I wonder if Monica's friend, who she constantly references, that'll help them, will be the Blue Marvel or Adam Brashear. That would be crazy and epic if Marvel do that. Vision exits the barrier and starts coming apart, and Billy's powers manifest when he hears this in his head through his telepathy, and he runs to tell his mom. His powers also appear when he stops his brother from running. His powers are similar to Wanda, but his energy field is colored blue instead of Wanda's red. Quicksilver mentions like a dick, "It's not like your dead husband can die twice," and Wanda shoves him away with her powers. She then goes beast mode, freezes everyone, and starts to expand the barrier. The helicopter for SWORD turns into a hot air balloon, the soldiers turn into mimes and clowns, and everything gets sucked into this new reality. Who knows, maybe her expanding the hex could unlock X genes and set up X-Men later on. So that was an action-packed episode. I think the biggest villain of this series has got to be the please wait screen at the end of each episode. 30 minutes is not enough to satiate my curiosity. Well, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know any Easter eggs I might have missed down in the comments below. My episode 7 video will again come out next Friday, so subscribe to stay tuned for that. Until then, thanks for watching.